Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Donald Trump, your president, says he may be on his way to Chicago and he's not coming alone. He says he's bringing the National Guard. Yeah, he says he's going to clean up the city. He's going to do what he did in D.C. He's going to restore order.
And after we do this, we'll go to another location and we'll make it safe also. We're going to make our country very safe. We're going to make our cities very, very safe. Chicago's a mess. You have an incompetent mayor, grossly incompetent. And we'll straighten that one out probably next. That'll be our next one after this. And it won't even be tough. And the people in Chicago, Mr. Vice President, are screaming for us to come. They're wearing red hats, just like this one. But they're wearing red hats. African-American ladies, beautiful ladies, are saying, please, President Trump, come to Chicago. Please. I did great with the black vote, as you know, and they want something to happen. So I think Chicago will be our next, and then we'll help with New York, and we're going to help with, and I think a lot of these people that you see on television, they are, including the people in this audience, they'll say bad things about me, and then they'll say, thank God he's here, because half of them got mugged.
There's some other cities he may be looking at too, like New York. Yeah, he's coming to New York. Interesting, because I thought crime was down in Chicago. I know we see a lot of violence in Chicago, and there's still a lot of violence, but overall crime is down in Chicago. So I don't know what's the rush to go to Chicago is. Perhaps Trump is trying to assert himself as the big bad authoritarian. Yeah. In any event, Trump said he needs to come to Chicago because these beautiful black women have summoned him. They said, please come to Chicago. Please come to Chicago. So he's thinking about it, going to Chicago. Remember when he first deployed those troops to D.C., I told y'all that Chicago was next. They've been wanting to get at Chicago for a minute anyway. What's interesting about Chicago is, as much as they say it's dangerous, I know a lot of people that go to Chicago all the time, and it's not who you are, it's where you go in Chicago and who you hang around with. It's not the city itself. It's certain pockets, certain places you go. Kind of like, if you're black and you find yourself in a sundown town, it's very dangerous. And I'm wondering, is Trump going to apply that same method to the sundown towns? Is he going to go in there and restore order? Is he going to send the National Guard in to train those uncivilized mutts? Is he going to do that? Yeah, anyway, fam, the mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, clapped back. He slammed Trump over possibly sending the National Guard to Chicago after his D.C. crime crackdown, calling the president's plan to target the Windy City offensive. He says, certainly, we have grave concerns about the impact of any unlawful deployment of National Guard troops to the city of Chicago. The problem with the president's approach is that it is uncoordinated, uncalled for, and unsound, Johnson wrote in a Friday statement. Trump told reporters in the Oval Office on Friday that he would send the National Guard to other Democrat-run cities, including Chicago. So, Democrats, look out. Trump is coming. Trump is coming. This is not just about Democrats being punished. Republicans are taking hits too. A lot of Republicans don't like Trump, but they are scared of Trump. I don't know why. He's just a dude. He's just a man that put his pants on the same way everybody else do, you know. Well, let me back up. They say sometimes he put both legs in the pants at once, and he kind of like shimmy into his pants. So I'll take that back. Anyway, from what I've seen with the troops going into DC, they haven't made much difference. Crime was already down in DC, and it appeared to me that the troops came in there and was trying to instigate. They were in there trying to create crimes. You know, it's kind of like how they're doing, running after all kinds of people with immigration. It's like, let's show force. You know, it's almost like, you know, like bullies, just going messing with people, just disturbing folks and going after people, even people who are in the country legally, going after everybody. And it's just a big old show, because I think they said they had something like 20 million illegal immigrants here. They're not going to deport 20 million illegal immigrants. That's absolutely not going to. They're not going to even deport 100,000 immigrants, illegal immigrants. That's not going to happen. They damn sure is not going to deport 1 million. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. This is all a dog and pony show. All these things that Trump is doing is symbolic. These are things that you push a button and it goes away in one day. He's not gathering great minds and coming up with real life solutions, real life sustainable plans for education, for Medicaid, for Social Security. None of the things that he's doing really has a positive impact on anybody. This is just a lot of grandstanding and posturing going on. The National Guard going into Chicago, DC, or wherever, they can't stay there forever. They got to get back to work. So they just going in, pushing people around. Get out the way. Woo, what you smoking? What you drinking? Get out. You know, just illegally frisking people, harassing people. That's all they're really doing. It ain't like, I tell you what, fam. If they're doing so well, let's get some reports of the crimes they prevented from happening. Let's get some of those reports about the violent crimes that, okay, they thwarted a robbery that was about to happen. Let's see how many robberies they stopped from happening. Let's see how many murder plots they prevented. You know, like, yeah, these guys was getting ready to go kill, okay, and they busted the whole gang. They got 10 of them, 20 of them, 5 of them. Where are those reports? There are none. It's just going around harassing people that are walking down the street or maybe driving their car. You know, people ain't even committing crimes. They're just going around harassing people. So that's not sustainable. The police can do that. The National Guard got to get back to what they do. Trump is just pushing people around. He's just going into these different cities and pushing the leadership around. And a lot of the leadership is just rolling over and taking it because they really don't have a spine. That's right. Because if they did, they would just say, make me leave. Make me withdraw my law enforcement. Make me. In fact, I'm going to tell all my law enforcement to get all the way up out of the city. And since y'all want to bring the troops in, y'all bring the troops in and keep them here. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's just one big old dog and pony show. But I will say this. Trump has given the National Guard the green light to murder. He's given them the green light to violate anybody they deem unfit. So y'all be careful out there, fam. Be very careful. No more talk.